Hi Questers, welcome back to the channel. So, it's time. Subspace Rhapsody. Strangely Worlds, Season 2, Episode 9. This could be a fun episode with it being a musical. But I don't hold high hopes for it, to be honest. Well, not much of a musical guy. I was when I was younger, because, kids love musicals. And animated musicals are okay, but Star Trek musicals? I mean, yes, we've had episodes where Uhura has sung songs in TOS, but the idea that they're doing a Buffy the Vampire Slayer Once More with Feeling style episode, I'm not sure I'm going to like it. And to top it all off, guys, it's actually the longest episode they've done for Strangely World so far at 1 hour and 2 minutes. So it's an hour. It's an hour and 2 minutes of hopefully enjoyable musical stuff. But hey, guys, I wonder if they're gonna add a sing-along version at some point, because otherwise, what's the point? So without further ado, guys, let's just see how this is. I mean, like you can see from my face, I'm not looking forward to this, and I haven't been looking forward to this since I heard about it. But Subspace Rhapsody, here we go. Just don't ruin Bohemian Rhapsody for me, because that will be a huge mistake. Okay, here we go, guys. Oh yeah, I thought I'd mention it. I am going to go back and I am going to look for Easter eggs in the crossover episode, and hopefully I'll find quite a few, because there are some, and I thought I'd highlight them. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. But yeah, let's get into this and see how it goes. Okay, so nothing musical has actually happened yet, but it seems that most of the computer's ability is being used up by Spock's experiment to do something about subspace communications, because they've encountered a naturally occurring subspace fold. Right. Okay. But the interesting thing is, right from the bat, Uhura is busy relaying communications from all over the ship, and at the same time, it looks like she's actually very much like a keyboarding the console like a piano, you know. So there's a very music-like thing happening right off the bat before anything happens, and okay, so interesting little finger play. So again, there's still. I mean, it's been what, 2 episodes since that stuff with Kirk last, being on the ship. The interesting thing is he's still being called lieutenant, and he hasn't received his commission yet. He still has some training and some stuff to learn. Why? They don't go into that much detail. It's just they need to iron it out, and this is the part where Una actually says to Lan that she has a glow. A glare. Ugh. Okay, so I've had a little bit of an issue with Nurse Chapel still being on the Enterprise, because at no point have they actually suggested that she is in Starfleet Medical, because you got to bear in mind that the only times that we've seen a white uniform for medical, especially, is Discovery and the motion picture. After that, or besides that, they've all been in a coloured uniform. So, I mean, if even in the TOS episode that Chapel is in, I watched it recently, she's wearing blue. So, as far as I can tell, she's still technically a civilian specialist attached to Starfleet, so she's not technically a Starfleet officer, or anything like that. So I mean, I do have an issue with that. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's a great character, she's a great actress as well, but it's just, I have an issue with that because I guess we saw some nurses in the background just as this scene was coming on where they were wearing white. But if she was in Starfleet, she would have been a nurse for years, because we see in the flashback episode that she was a nurse back then. So she would be. I know she's a head nurse now, but I mean, how could she be a head nurse if she doesn't hold a Starfleet commission? If she holds a Starfleet commission, why is she in white? I just have an issue with that. That's the only issue I have with Chapel, and I hope you guys are still watching, because it is a bit nitpicky, I suppose, but at the same time, it makes sense. My thoughts make sense. She should be in a blue uniform. She should not be in the white uniform. And another thing, where are all the non-commissioned officers and crewmen? Because an ensign walks past them in a corridor in a previous episode, and actually say, you know, crewman, but she's not a crewman. She's an ensign. I mean, she has the rank insignia on her arms, so I don't understand. We haven't seen any. It's also a thing that I've noticed in lower decks. All the lower decks seem to be ensigns, which doesn't make sense, because there would be crewmen under them, because even ensigns are superior to someone, right? So you would think that there would be crewmen and enlisted personnel, I should say, like there are in the real world navies. You know, you'd think that there are just people that, you know, joined Starfleet but didn't become officers. Because would that make sense? Because the entire crew can't be made up of officers, surely. Otherwise, how did Chief O'Brien get onto the Enterprise? It just doesn't make sense a lot of the time. But I know that they're retconning canon in a way with this show. But yeah, if you're still watching, I hope you carry on. But I'm just saying, it's just really weird that they haven't clarified whether she's actually in Starfleet at this point. We know she is later on in TOS, but you know, the uniform kind of suggests that there's an issue. So, I mean, even in real world, I mean, nurses are in scrubs just like the doctors. So, except they have their own specific type of uniform. But at the same time, in Star Trek with Starfleet, I mean, the white uniform, you know, it shouldn't exist anymore. Not since not since Discovery. So from the start, she should not have been in white. She should have been in blue, surely, if she's in Starfleet. Same with the rest of the nurses. But I'm just saying. Okay, so there we go. Pella. I think it's Chief Engineer Pella. Commander Pella, Lieutenant Commander. I can't remember her rank. And it is Pella, isn't it? Or is it Pilar? I can't remember. You don't hear her name often enough. But she suggested sending music through the Subspace Fold, and they did, and they got a reaction to a really bad song, in my opinion. At least it wasn't the end of the world, and we know it. That might have been a bad one to send, but I'm guessing that that's what has caused the wave to come from the Subspace Fold, which is going to turn their ship into a musical theatre. So it turns out that Spock is going to be the first one to break out into song. Okay, had to be Spock, didn't it? Why did it have to be Spock? Hi Questers, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate everything you guys do for us. It's outstanding, the show of support that I'm getting. But I mean, there are a few things that you can still do for me. If you can just please remember to hit that thumbs up if you like my content, and it seriously helps us out with the algorithm and gets spread out to a wider audience. And please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, guys, when I get to 50 subscribers, I'll be doing my first live, and I hope you'll enjoy that when I do it. But yeah, and also you can comment down below, Questers, and I will reply or respond either directly or in a future video. So please, guys, live long and prosper, and stay safe. Okay, so I've got goosebumps. Why have I got goosebumps? Is it because it's creepy? It did make me smile, though. It's very interesting. I mean, the lyrics seem okay. The music seems okay. And everyone seems to be able to sing in a pretty good tone, I suppose. So, I mean, you can tell that a lot of these actors are experienced singers, but yeah, that first song gave me goosebumps. I don't know why. It's just weird. I've never had goosebumps from music before, but it could just be, like I say, that it's creepy. But I don't know. We got a nice map of fleet locations here. A nice chart. Let's see what ships we got. We got Subspace Fisher, Enterprise, Farragut, USS Republic, Delphi. There's some ships there with no names. Lexington. Is that Congo or Congo? So there are some ships there that don't have names. Is that a lack of imagination on their part, or is it their transponders are off? But they tried to shut the Fisher, or what they've called a subspace fold, and it's spreading along the communications network. Okay, but I don't understand why you got deltas there that represent ships that don't have names, because there are ships there with names. So I don't understand that. Could you imagine if the Klingons were singing? It'd be a whole lot of Klingon opera, right? But there's a nice chart. But there was a bit there with Pike and is it Pella? I can't remember her name for some reason. Is it Pella? Anyway, I started singing, then La'an shuts the channel down and says it's a security threat, which it is in a way if you think about it. But is this only going to be happening on Starfleet ships, or is this going to be happening on any Federation world in the area? Okay, so instead of improving it, they've made it worse. The interesting thing is, Kirk is actually taking decisions away from La'an, and he seems to be thinking that it's her ship, so she should be giving the orders. But technically, he's a first officer now, right? He might not have been officially commissioned as a first officer, but isn't his job to actually be in command? Is he supposed to be learning how to be a first officer, right? So taking the command decisions and choices away from La'an would actually make sense, because technically he would outrank her even now, because obviously he's going to be the first officer on another ship. But I mean, that's going to mean that he's a commander. So he says he's actually skipping a rank. He's a lieutenant, right? So what's happened to being a lieutenant commander before becoming a full commander? Well, I don't know what they're doing with the ranking system in Strange New Worlds, because they seem to be messing it up a little. Because Because I would have thought that a lieutenant becoming a lieutenant commander is the stepping stone to becoming a commander, which is the first, the executive officer, first officer. So it's a bit odd, and I don't know. I don't like the chemistry between these two. I don't think they should even consider liking each other. I mean, even in the episode where they went back in time, obviously Kirk doesn't know this, but La'an knows. But at the same time, it shouldn't have happened then. But I don't know if this episode is weird. I always thought that this episode could make or break Strange New Worlds, and I'm not sure what it's doing. It's okay. The music, some of the music is a bit weird, but I don't know. I don't like these two being this awkward, I suppose the word is. But I don't know. I mean, maybe the Klingons are coming. Glory to your house. So we get the first mention of Carol. Nice. And she's pregnant now. Makes sense, that explains. That ties in with the Wrath of Khan, really. Because that would be, at least 20, 25 years in the future, possibly. I forget the time frame. But, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Nice callback. They have had several nice callbacks in this season. But the musical stuff, it's touch and go with the musical stuff, really. We're in a period at the moment where there hasn't been a lot, but we had Spock trigger Chapel's song after congratulating her and asking her why she hadn't told him about it. So yeah. Okay. That's the thing. Why are they using a console in main engineering to study and find a pattern in the signal that causes the songs? But not only that, where's the engineering crew? There's no one else in there. There was, when we go back in there was just Spock and Uhura. Now it's just Uhura. Where's the rest of the engineering team? Wouldn't there be? There should be a number of people in engineering at all times, shouldn't there? Otherwise, what's the point in having them? Considering the amount of people that are supposed to be crewing the Enterprise, you don't see enough. The most people we've seen in any one room is in the bar, basically. That's the largest group of people that we've seen in one place on the Enterprise at any time through the entire series. It's just crazy to think that in a ship that's got around about 400 people crewing it, you don't see them anywhere. It's just, is that something that you would agree with? Because I don't think that main engineering would be empty. I don't think they would be doing this research in main engineering. I mean, surely they would have been in one of the science labs or communications center laboratory. Why would they be doing it in main engineering? It doesn't make sense. It's like you wouldn't expect them to do an episode where someone needs surgery in the mess hall, would you? I don't get it. Where's the rest of the crew? Where's the... I don't know. Okay, so first off, I am so glad they didn't actually do a cover of Bohemian Rhapsody, because that would have been terrible. But all in all, enjoyable episode. I mean, you can enjoy it if you like musicals. Not my cup of tea, but yeah, it was interesting. Some of the songs were actually pretty good, to be honest. But it's not Star Trek, in my opinion. You know, Star Trek has never been about musicals. I mean, yes, we've had episodes of TOS where Uhura would sing now and then, but you know, it's not Star Trek to have a musical number in any episode. So, I mean, I know we get Data in TNG. You know, he tries to be musical, he sings, but you know, it's just this kind of episode, a musical episode, is it's not Star Trek, guys. Come on. But yeah, uh, well, I mean, if you like this video, you know, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified of any upcoming content should you wish to see it. And yeah, it really helps us out. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. And take care. And don't forget, live long and prosper.